draw this Melcon chart every time. What I am expecting is, as we're doing these 5 examples, that you go through the Melcon steps. Now, they're not exactly the same as Melcon in English because this is math class. We're not writing a paragraph about our problem. We're just using the main idea, the evidence, the link, and the conclusion to help us solve. So problem number 1 says, Paul's school is selling tickets to a choral performance. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 6 adult tickets and 8 student tickets for a total of $106. The school took in $128 on the second day by selling 8 adult tickets and 8 student tickets. What is the price each of 1 adult ticket and 1 student ticket? So the main idea, this one's a pretty easy question. What's it asking us? How much is what? An adult ticket. And how much is a student ticket?
So I think we should divide by 8. 8 that was the number.
So, how much is an adult ticket and how much is a student ticket? These are systems problems. What do you know about systems? How many equations are in a system?
More than 1.
2, right? Sometimes 3, but we've stopped at 2.
I don't stop until
Also, listen. We know that each equation has what in it? And they have coefficients, but each equation, every single system's equation has a blank and a blank. An x and a y, right? But if I look at this problem, I can assign adult the variable x and student the variable y, or I could flip-flop it. Or I can know that there just needs to be 2 variables. So I'm going to use a for 1 variable, and I'm going to use s for my second variable. So each equation is going to contain the variable a for adult, and each equation is going to contain the variable s for student. Now it's time to write my equations, my evidence. I know that on day number 1, what happened? 6 adult tickets, sold 6 adult tickets, and what? 8 student tickets. Is that it?
That makes it a lot easier.
And it equaled $106. So there's equation number 1. Am I done? No, because systems have 2 equations. So day 2 is my second part. What else do you know? What do you know about day 2? Zach?
There were 8 adult tickets and 8 student tickets.
And what?
And total price of $128.
So I'm going to say the school took in $128, correct? And how'd they get $128? Well, they sold 8 adult tickets and 8 student tickets. So now I have a system. How do I know it's a system? There's 2 equations, and both equations use the same variables, correct? All right. What did we learn about systems? How should we write systems? Is this written correctly?
Oh.
What did we learn about writing systems? How should we write systems? Because this doesn't really help me solve it. There's a better way of writing this system. Heaven? You could write it in slope-intercept form, but I don't have a y, right? I mean, I don't want to graph that. 106? Yikes. Evan, what should I
I
do?
want to graph it.
Substitute y for like an A or S.
Okay, I could put x and y in there, but I don't have to. I can keep the variable a and I can keep the variable s. Zach, what should I do?
If you line up the equations so that the variables are vertically next to each other, then you can solve through elimination.
I can rewrite it, and you should rewrite it, so the like terms are lined up.
And that can get us.
So instead of 128 equals 8a plus 8s, I'm going to flip that around and put 8a plus 8s equals 128. That's still the same problem.
I'm starting to see that we can do elimination here.
Okay, so hopefully people are now looking at that and thinking, okay, I can do this. I wish it was an easy problem, because it's not an easy problem. But thank goodness it's not a hard problem. It's a medium problem. And why is it a medium problem? Corey? Yeah, if that, oh man, right? Like, if that was just a -8.
And then
I could cancel it out and it'd be easy. So let's do it. Let's change everything in the bottom to its opposite.
That's what I was gonna say.
Good. Do it.
We want to put that thing way around.
Someone's going to really enjoy watching these videos today, Jacob, with your commentary. All right, let's combine like terms. 6a minus 8a is -2a. And my 8s's cancel out. Equals, what's 106 minus 128? -22. Am I done? What's my next step? Divide by -2. How much is an adult ticket? $11. Am I done? I'm 50% done. Because my main idea is how much is an adult ticket and how much is a student ticket. So now that I have an adult ticket is $11, what do I do? Substitute it into, which one? Does it matter? One of the originals. I'm going to pick the one with smaller numbers.
Same here.
So instead of A, I'm going to put in 11. 6 times 11.
Equals 66. Sorry for.
Hopefully, as an algebra student, as an advanced algebra student even,
What do
you should be able to start at some point doing some of this mentally. Like skipping steps or just using your calculator to do it. You don't have to write down every single step. If not, that's fine. But I'm not done. Because my answer is not an ordered pair. My answer is an adult ticket is $11. And a student ticket is $5. And you ask yourself, is it reasonable? Does that make sense? I mean, yeah. Adult tickets are usually more expensive than student tickets. And, you know, we didn't get like an adult ticket is $400. So, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's my only question. Like, generally, adult tickets are like twice as much, but not twice plus. But, you know, depends, I guess. Maybe adults get an extra perk. I don't know what, but
You get to pay more. That's your
you get earplugs. so
That's
you
your
don't have to
special
listen to
perk.
kids. I don't know.
All right, so let's try the next one. So again, we're not melconning in the English sense of melcon. We're just using it to help us organize our information. Number 2, traveling downstream, a certain boat went 18 kilometers per hour. Traveling upstream, it only went 6 kilometers per hour. What is the speed of the current, and how fast would the boat go if there was no current? So what are our two things, right? It's a system. There are two equations. What is the question asking? Okay, so the current, speed.
Let's make that C.
Okay, Jacob says we can make current speed the letter C. What else is it asking? So the speed of what if there was no current? The boat speed.
And we can make that A and B.
We can make that a B. Could you, if you said, no way, I don't want to do that, could you do X and Y? As long as you identified which one was X and which one was Y. So now let's write our problem. And this one's a little vague. I get that. Like in the other one, it tells us more information. This is a pretty vague question. If your boat is traveling downstream, what's moving when your boat is going down the stream? The water, which is the current. And what else is moving? The boat. So the current plus the boat went how fast? 18 kilometers per hour. And I'll say that one's going down, right? I'll label it so we can talk about it a little bit easier. And if your boat is going upstream, what happens? It's going to be the boat minus the current. Equals what? 6 kilometers per hour. But what's wrong with my equations?
They're not written. I already written.
I need to line up my like terms. Which one's going to be easier to flip-flop around? Why is the top one easier to flip-flop around? Yeah, it's the addition one. C plus B is the same thing as B plus C equals 18.
I could swap everything around.
And B minus C equals 6. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's an easy problem, right? What's 1B plus 1B? 2B. What happens to our C's?
They
Tell me about 18 and 6. 24? Am I done now? Divide by 2, so the B equals 12. Am I done now? Halfway done. Okay, so I'm going to put it into the one without any minuses because I don't want to deal with negatives. The boat plus the current equals 18. So 12 plus the current equals 18. The current is 6. Last step is to write our answers with our labels and all that good stuff. So what does B equal 12 mean? The boat speed is 12 kilometers per hour, right? And the current speed is 6 kilometers per hour.
Now what?
And we're done. So again, MELCON is not asking us to write paragraphs. In English it is, in social studies it is, in science it does. In math right now we're just using it to organize our thoughts. Could you then, in theory, write a paragraph about this? Yeah, because now it's organized in your main idea, your evidence, your link, and your conclusion. Let's go to the next one. A local amusement park is a popular field trip destination. This year, the senior class at High School A and the senior class at High School B both planned trips there. The senior class at High School A rented and filled 11 vans and 4 buses with 341 students. High School B rented and filled 5 vans and 2 buses with 165 students. Each van and each bus carried the same number of students. Find the number of students in each van and in each bus. So what's my question? What's my main idea?
How many students are in each bus and each van?
Heaven? Oh. Gabby, what's the question? Number of students in a van and the number of students in a bus.
So we can use B and B2.
All right, so let's use V and B.
I'll use B2 because we already had a B.
Well, it's a new problem, so you can reuse the letter B. That's okay. Jordan, stay awake. All right, let's talk it through. What do we know? What's our evidence? Okay, so what school is that? So school A. Tell me about school A. So 11 vans plus 4 buses, 11 vans and 4 buses equaled 341 students. What? Maybe they didn't have enough buses to fill them? Who knows? Maybe vans are cheaper than buses? High School B, tell me about High School B. Five vans and 2 buses for a total of 165 students. Is this an easy problem?
No, it's not, but it can.
No. Is it a medium problem? No. So it's a hard problem.
Hold on, I got this.
11V plus 4B equals 341. And 5V plus 2B equals 165. If you want to use the rules we learned, because you think to yourself, I don't want to waste my time with mental math and factors and multiples and all of that stuff, the top equation is going to get multiplied by what? 5, the bottom first coefficient.
I'm not doing that rule. Okay.
The bottom's going to get multiplied by what? Not 11. Negative 11, the opposite of the first coefficient. And if you do this, and that's the way you want to do it, because that's the way that it works for you, perfect, go ahead and start working. Because you're going to get the same answer as the rest of us. Others of you who enjoy mental math, common factors, all that stuff, you look at this problem and you say to yourself, you know what? 11 and 5, I can't, they don't have a common factor. But 4 and 2 do. 4 and 2 have a common factor of 2. If I take 2 times 2, I get 4.
And it's actually negative 2 you want to do.
So, if I multiply by 2,
By negative 2.
hold on, 11V plus 4B equals 341. And then I get 10v plus 4b equals 330. And I look at that and I say, oh, that's so close. I should change everything down here,
That's why I said multiply by negative 2.
which is the same thing as multiplying by -2. And my numbers are much smaller and easier to deal with. But you have to have a good understanding of your factors to do that. 11v minus 10v is 1v. My 4b and my -4b cancel out. 341 minus 330 is 11. So a van holds 11 students. Then I'm going to take that and put it into one of my original problems. 5 times 11 plus 2b equals 165. 55 plus 2b equals 165. 2b equals 105? No. 110. So 1b equals 55. If you would have done this first problem, you still would have gotten the same answer. So what's our conclusion? A van holds 11 students, and a bus holds 55 students. Number 4, we're just going to do the main idea and the evidence. We're not going to solve. Number 4. You try it. See if you can get it. Try to figure out the evidence, the 2 equations for number 4. Stefan and Ashley each improved their yards by planting rose bushes and ivy. They bought their supplies from the same store. Stefan spent $215 on 13 rose bushes and 8 pots of ivy. Ashley spent $40 on 2 rose bushes and 2 pots of ivy. What is the cost of 1 rose bush and the cost of 1 pot of ivy?
I'd like a pot of ivory.
Right?
That's illegal, you know.
Well, if it grew in a pot, I'd be okay with it.
So we're trying to find the cost of a rose and the cost of ivy, correct?
Of ivy.
So R and I. Or you can make X and Y.
The cost of ivory is 1 divided by 0. What is that?
So we have 2 people. We have Stefan and we have Ashley is our evidence. And what do you know about Stefan? What's our information about Stefan? 13 rose bushes plus 8 pots of ivy. And how much did he spend? $215. What do we know about Ashley? 2 rose bushes. What else? 2 ivies. And what was her answer? $40. Easy, medium, or hard problem? Hard. Nothing automatically cancels out. Let's go to number 5.
I defined that as
Find the value of 2 numbers if their sum is 25 and their difference is 3. So what is it asking us to do? find two numbers, right? So we have number 1 and we have number 2. What should we use for number 1? And? Then what are you going to use for number 2? Oh, what have you variable? You want to do X and Y? I mean, it works. Let's do number 1 is X and number 2 is Y. All right, tell me about it. What do you know? What's equation number 1? The sum is 25. What does sum mean? X plus Y equals 25. It means to add. What do we know about equation 2? X minus Y equals what? 3. Easy or hard or medium?
Easy.
Doesn't matter. So Evan asks, how do you know which one to put first? It doesn't really matter. If you put one of them first and you happen to get a negative number, the other one's going to probably also be negative. And what do you think you should just do? Like negative 10 and negative 15 make negative 25. But I don't want negative 25. I want positive 25. So if it happens to be negative, right, if you put the wrong one first, it's okay. Just swap it around.